In fact, what is written in the Quran is easy to understand if we follow the logic of the Quran and Prophet Muhammad, because Prophet Muhammad, he started his work, his activities between his people in Peninsula of Arabia as a preacher, as a teacher. And the source of his teachings, to which he referred all the time, was the books, the manuscript, the scriptures of Abraham and Moses. It is written in the Quran. إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. So it is written in the Quran that Prophet Muhammad referred all the time to the sources of his teachings. The books, the preceding book, related to Abraham and to Moses. It is very important because Prophet Muhammad would like to keep a continuity of the teachings of those prophets for his people. And the teachings of Abraham is based on the knowledge about the heart. According to the Quran, Abraham evaluated his heart state. فَنَظَرَ نَظْرَةً إِلَى النُّجُومِ فَقَالَ إِنِّي سَقِيمٌ. So the Quran defines two principles. Soqm, disease, illness, and Selm, health. So in the beginning, Abraham had a no healthy heart. And he started a travel to discover the light of God in his heart and to change the state of his heart from Sodom to Salem, from a no healthy heart to a healthy heart. Salem means health, and Islam means give health to the heart. This is the meaning of Islam, according to the tradition of Abraham. According to the Quran, every prophet, each monotheist is on the footstep of Abraham, is following the Abraham's teachings. What is the technique of Abraham, which is explained in the Quran? It is very easy to pay attention to the heart meditation, to be concentrated on a point inside of the heart. To bring under control the rhythm of inhaling and exhaling, to repeating the name of God. وَاذْكُرْ رَبَّكَ فِي نَفْسِكَ تَضَرُّعًا وَخُفْيَةً یا تَضَرُّعًا وَخِيفَةً دُونَ الْجَهْرِ مِنَ الْقَوْلِ. Keep reminding the name of your Lord inside of yourself with humbleness. Why? Because according to the Quran, God is very close, very, very close to each individual. According to the Quran, Allahu yahulu bayna al-mar'i wa qalbih. God is situated between man and his heart. When an individual pays attention to his heart, necessarily he pays attention to his Lord. Working on the heart according to the teachings of Abraham, according to the tradition of Moses, when Moses passed a period of 40 days and nights of seclusion. It is written in the Quran. So the door of the invisible world opened to his heart, and he got the illumination of the God's light in his heart. So it gave him the conviction, certitude. Abraham got this conviction about the unity of the Creator of the universe. This is the method of the Quran. And during this travel, bit by bit, when the state of the heart changes, the state of the mind changes as well. The egoism gives place to altruism. Egoism gives place to the fotovat, spiritual chivalry. Wildness gives place to humbleness. According to the tradition of Abraham, with people who accomplish this travel, it is possible to create a civilization, such as civilization which was built by David and Solomon, according to the Quran. It was the teaching of Prophet Muhammad in the Peninsula of Arabia, in the frame of the Quran. But the main audience of Prophet Muhammad was the Bedouin, who were wandering in the desert, and they were not at all interested by this kind of subject. So, after the entrance in Mecca victoriously by Prophet Muhammad and his companion 3 years before the death of Prophet Muhammad, the majority of the Bedouin who were living in Peninsula of Arabia converted to Islam. But they didn't change their attachment to the tribal tradition. Till that moment, they told, we don't believe to your book. لَن نُؤْمِنُ بِهَذَا. They said openly to Prophet Muhammad, we are fighting you till you change the Quran or you bring another book. وَأْتِ بِقُرْآنٍ غَيْرَ هَذَا أو بدله. But from the conquest of Mecca, they converted to Islam and they stopped fighting Muhammad and the Quran. But from that moment they told, you are Muslim, we are Muslim, you have your own interpretation of the Quran and we have our own interpretation of the Quran. And from this moment, two different opposite versions, two different opposite religions were born in the same city of Medina under the same name, Islam. So Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad, in Medina, when he went to Medina, he would like to live in cohabitation, in coexistence with other people who were living in Medina. It was two Jewish tribes and the Syrian people and different people, the believers, no believers, etc. So in each city, different people are living and their rights are respected. So Muhammad told, Lakum dinukum, for you, your religion, for me, my religion. It was not any, so as you see, it was full of respect and the respect for the right of citizenship in the city of Medina. But the problem is that the no-believers in Mecca, they didn't like to be detached from their tribal traditions. They were so much attached to their idols, to the principle of idol worshipping, which was the main principle in the period of ignorance according to the Quran, period of Jahiliyat, ignorance, etc. So from the moment that Muhammad, he started to preach people, to bring them, to integrate them in the tradition of Abraham, even his uncles, some of, he had, so Abdul Muttalib, the grandfather of Muhammad, had 10 boys. So they became differentiated in two categories, those who supported Muhammad and those who were against Muhammad from the beginning. And they made a lot of battles and bloody fights against Muhammad to put him out of their way. They were very much attached to their traditions and they wouldn't like to change at all. So Muhammad wouldn't like to fight them. For this reason, he migrated from Mecca to Medina. They came and imposed to Muhammad a lot of battles and etc. as you know. So in the end of all of those fights, they lost the battle. And Muhammad entered victoriously inside of Mecca. So in that moment, the enemies of Muhammad changes the tactic. Till that moment, they were fighting against the Quran. From that moment, they converted to Islam in order to pass over the Quran, to take the Quran in their hand and to tell that we are Muslim, as we are Muslim. But they bring, in order to bring their own interpretation. It is the changement of the tactic to keep the attachment to the tribal tradition, but under the name of Islam. And after the death of Muhammad, it was the short period of 4 Caliph, and after it was the first dynasty in the Islamic world, which was the Umayyad dynasty, and after Abbasid dynasty, and after Ottoman dynasty, etc. They were the tyrant, they were the despot, who were hiding the despotism and tyrannical system behind the name of Islam, behind the name of the Quran. So this is the false Islam, which appeared in the history of human being from the beginning till now. It means that the teachings of Muhammad fell down in the forgotten place. The problem is coming there, that people, they didn't take in consideration the teaching of the Quran regarding the development of the heart. There are a lot of atrocity under the name of Islam, unfortunately, in the history of human being. For example, the stoning of the people. So in the Islamic world, in the Islamic countries, etc., it is used to stoning the people. But stoning doesn't have any place in the Quran. Not at all. Not at all. Stoning is the tradition of the tyrant who condemned the prophets and the spiritual masters to be stoned. It was not the tradition of the prophet to stone anybody. The circumcision of the girls doesn't have any place in the Quran. In the Islamic countries, they practice. So there are a lot of traditions which are rooted in the tribal activities, tribal traditions, and remained under the name of Islam. This is the problem. Because in Islam, unfortunately, the clergy, the clerical power is talking and reasoning upon the sayings invented by themselves and attributed to Prophet. They don't regard at all what is written in the Quran. It is the base of the problem. I would like to precise a very, very important principle. So in the Quran, 3 categories of the sentences exist. One is the teachings of Abraham and the line of the prophethood, which are repeated by Muhammad as well, to develop the hidden capacities of the soul. Because mankind is the vehicle, the representative of the Creator in the material world. It has a lot of respect from the angels, from the all beings, and from the Creator. It is written in the Quran that according to the tradition of Bani Israel, the children of Jacob. Children of Jacob. So Jacob is named Israel. And the children of Jacob are Bani Israel. According to the tradition of Jacob, killing one person equals killing whole human being. And saving one person from to be killed is as to save whole human being. It is written in the Quran and related to the tradition of Jacob. It is the principle. So God doesn't send the prophet hereby to come and to give order how to kill other people, because people, they are killing themselves. It is not necessary to send a prophet for this. In the frame of the Quran, you find 3 categories of verses. One is the teachings, the pure teachings to develop the spiritual capacities of the soul and conscience. It is the base of the Quran. The second category is the objections and the questions which were posed by people in the peninsula of Arabia when Muhammad was giving those teachings. And the third category is the answer that Muhammad brought for those people. For this reason, the language of the Quran is not homogeneous. You discover 3 different styles of language in the Quran. So, this is very important, that you find a lot of things in the Quran, written in the Quran. And because it is written in the Quran, it is sacred in the eyes of Muslims. But they don't have the equal values. It means that it is written in the Quran that the no-believers, they told something. What they told is written absolutely, formulated exactly as they were talking, is formulated in the Quran. It is written in the Quran. But the source of this sentence is the no-believers. Even if it is written in the Quran, you cannot apply this.
So it is a quotation.
It is just a quotation. So it is necessary to differentiate between all of these things. It is not because it is written in the Quran that you can apply it. It is written, or it is not because it is written in the Quran that it is an order to be followed. It is written because it was like this. But in order to pass over that point, and so on and so on. So how we can discover what is the best method to apply the teachings of the Quran? To take in consideration the soul of the revelation, the spirit of the Quran. Not the text, but the spirit of the Quran. How to reach to the light of God. Allahu nur samawati wal arz. God is light of the universe, the whole universe. And He's guiding people from the darkness toward light by His own light. So it is talking about light all the time, walking toward light. Not fighting, but walking toward light. This is the soul of the revelation. First of all, the prophets in their time, such as Moses, Abraham, Jesus, Prophet Muhammad, Mani, etc., they were the taboo busters. Their main job was to break down all of the taboo.
Busters.
The main principle of the Quran is the principle of abrogation, naskh, abrogation. So, each law, each term in the Quran should be taken as a relative order, because it regards the evolution of the society. Society is an alive being, which is in the evolution. So the principle of abrogation regards this principle of the evolution of the society. The Quran gives the example of the abrogation. Today Muhammad gave an order, and tomorrow he broke down that order and gave another one, and broke down that one and gave another one, and etc., etc. And people, they ask him why you are doing this and that, etc. He told, according to the level of your evolution, I am changing the teachings. It is the principle of abrogation. So the society is on the way of development, and it is necessary that people, they use their capacity of reasoning. It is written in the Quran. The Quran invites people to use the capacity of reasoning and to change the laws. So the dogma is coming from the clerical invention. They would like to keep a stagnized society in the time of the Bedouin traditions. It has nothing to do with the Quran, with the soul of the Quran. But for all of this reason, it is necessary to educate the educators. So, in the tradition of Muhammad, you see in the Quran, it is written in the Quran, that a lot of people, they converted to Islam in order, in the time of Muhammad, in the lifetime of Muhammad, they converted to Islam in order to build the mosques not for praying, but for preaching. They were the brainwashers. They converted to Islam in order to brainwash people in the name of God. And to bring out of them the killers. And Muhammad got the order from his Lord to go and to destroy those mosques. It is written in the Quran. So this misusage of the Quran, of the Islam, of the praying, etc., it is not a new invention. It existed in the lifetime of Muhammad himself. So according to the Quran, each individual is in research of his Lord. And so the place of God is the heart. وَكَانَ عَرْشُهُ عَلَى الْمَاءِ. It means that the throne of God is situated upon the water. So everybody, by studying the book of his self or herself, discover the God's light and the unity of God. It is a very important expression which is said that al-ilmu nuqtatun, that the science is just one point. فَكَسَّرُهَا الْجَاهِلُونَ. Those who don't know this little point, they are developing it. They are inventing a lot of saying and attributing to this saint, that saint, etc., etc. So when we are returning back to the heart, we find the same light, the same light. How to return back to the light, to the heart, to self, to the real self, to the conscious. So the method which is explained in the Quran is to bring back the health to the heart. Islam is not a religion. Islam is a method. And who is using this method, applying this method, is a Muslim. And who finishes, accomplishes this travel is not a Muslim. He is a Salim. Salim means a person who has a vaccinated heart. Not a healthy heart, but an immune heart. So Abraham went to meet his Lord with an vaccinated heart. It is written in the Quran. A heart that cannot get any other disease. So in the Quran it is talking only about the unity and the method to reach to the unity and to get a healthy heart. So the names are not important. There are a lot of people who are named the Muslim and they never study one verse of the Quran and they name Muslim. So the name doesn't change. What is important is the situation of the heart. For example, Sufism, the Sufi, they are rejected by the clergy in the Muslim world because they are not at all interested to the clerical discussion. They are the light seekers. They would like to reach to a healthy heart and to discover God's light in their heart. They are not tolerated by the clergy. So there are a lot of branches in Islam attributed to Islam that I don't know. It is out of my specialty. I don't know. So I cannot talk about what I don't know. I know what is important in the teachings of Muhammad and other prophets is how to return back to the heart.
What about Baha'i?
Yes, the Baha'i, so I don't know the the world vision of the Baha'i. But I am taking the defense of Baha'i. For me, it is very important. In the United Nations, in European Parliament, etc., etc., I am taking defense of the Ahmadi community, of Baha'i community, etc., without knowing their style of thinking and believing. It is not important. It regards them, not me. But they have right to select their way toward God. Nobody can impose anything to them. So I am taking the defense of the Baha'i to be Baha'i, the Ahmadi to be Ahmadi, without knowing how they are thinking, because it was the style of Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad told, for you, your religion, for me, my religion. It is not necessary to know what is your religion, to take defense of liberty of opinion and religion. The principle is to take defense for everybody, the liberty of opinion and religion. Nobody can impose any religion to anybody else according to the teaching of the Quran. The first verse which was revealed to Prophet Muhammad was about the importance of learning. Learning, studying, writing and reading. It was a cultural revolution. Cultural revolution.
Also eine Art Kulturrevolution durch Lernen.
In order to build a civilization. It was not to destroy the civilization. It was to flourish the culture, the human culture. So, having respect for human being is a part of human culture. I tried in this book to show that how the place of mankind is important in the eyes of the creator of mankind. How the place of culture is important in the culture in its diversities. Not monoculture. Culture as a tree with 1,000 branches. It is written in the Quran. So it is necessary that all of this fact be known by the majority of people who would like to know something about Islam. To stop all of the amalgam and misunderstanding about Islam. Islam has nothing to do with killing and terrorism and etc.